Monroe, my guest for the evening. You know exactly where you can find her at Maisey Monroe, Maisey Monroe. Links to all of her social media in the episode description below. Please make sure you support the creators that come on this show. Otherwise, they stop coming on the show. Maisey, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight.
Thank you for having me here. Hi, everyone.
Let me ask you. I'm wonderful. I hope you're wonderful as well. Look at this, folks.
I'm wonderful.
This is the access I get. I'm in Maisey's bedroom right now, which is really it's not great for her. She's going to have a bummer of a night, it sounds like, with me there, but I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Maisey, let me start with the boring question, the one that it always establishes, but it creates a nice base for us to see where you were and where you're going. How did you initially decide, hey, I'm going to get into the adult entertainment industry, whatever facet it was, whether it was camming or stripping or when were you like, I'm going to cross the line, or I want to cross the line, I want to do that, the quote unquote line?
Good question. I actually was starting into it right away. I was 18 and I signed up for OnlyFans.
Wow.
And I thought this was a super empowering time. Mind you, it was COVID when I signed up, so I kind of went through that at that time, and a lot of people were getting into it during this time anyways. So my sister actually did OnlyFans first, and I thought it was, again, super empowering, and she kind of just told me how to sign up, and when I was 18, I signed up like that. And then it took me a couple years to actually get into doing mainstream or even like boy-girl work at all. I worked with the first ever producer, Mr. XS, in Canada.
Sure. And
that was last year in February. So that was super cool. Got posted on Pornhub, tube sites, and everything. And that's kind of when I saw, like, I liked the attention and I liked people seeing me do that. I thought it was super, super entertaining. And I've always been an entertainer. So
sure.
Kind of where I started.
So I have a million questions to dive into after that, but I do, let me ask, you mentioned you had, it sounded like a mentor getting you into OF. That was your sister. That is like a story I haven't heard in a while. There's a couple of like sisters who are in the industry who go back and forth. Is your sister still in the industry? Is she still a performer, or did she duck out and you took this rocket to superstardom?
The second I took the rocket to superstardom, like she's out. She didn't last long. Not because she couldn't have. She totally chose not to. So
sure. She's
doing great.
Do you ever get any jealousy from her? She, like, you're flying around and she's like, oh, I'm in an office job now. No, yeah.
She lives a great life.
That's awesome.
Like, she's a quaint little family girl, like, and honestly, like, I get jealous of her life sometimes. She has so much love around her right now, and
that's so positive. That's so sweet too, that there was no like animosity and whatever. No. Though if you ever get into a fight, you can like dig it to her. You can be like, well, I mean, I stuck it out. You know, you went over there and built a family and whatever else. But I mean, I get to fly around the country, so that's pretty cool.
She would never even care. Okay. She'd be like, I know you're gonna bring me someday. So,
so when you first, was it the offer to go shoot that scene, and were you doing? Let me restart my whole fucking brain after that one. 1 second.
Yes.
When you're doing your OnlyFans, was it only solo at the time?
For the first little bit, actually, yeah, it was solo. I was super new, so it was like even minute-long dildoing myself and like no intro, nothing. Like I was kind of amateur. I was very, very amateur. Now, obviously, like being in porn, there's my solo videos are like intro, middle, end, story, you know, everything.
Sure,
but
sure. Yeah, you've learned how to become a real filmmaker, it sounds like. Now, when you thought about getting into the adult entertainment industry, did you realize that like 5% of your job is having sex and the rest of it is fucking admin work, social media?
Yeah, I actually did. It's a lot of work, don't get me wrong. There's stuff that still surprises me because I have so much that I could always do. Every platform, you know, like there's so much I could always do. But it was like, I knew it was coming because I did go to film school. I did film production, writing, acting. So just the sex is kind of the bonus for me. It's everything else I want to do anyways. I love the lights, camera, action. I love producing. I love editing. And I've also been in front of the camera my whole life. My mom always took pictures of me when I was younger, and I kind of just modeled, acted, and it's just another avenue of something I love to do. Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. I have a degree in television, film, and radio production. And it's kind of a useless degree, if I'm being honest, in the States where I live.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most, I can do anything. I can make you a wedding video. I could Photoshop this. I could do whatever. I do it all for my friends. And job-wise, it's like, nothing. But you kind of fall into this. I fell into this personally because you performers are like the most fun people to talk to. You're all beautiful, obviously. I mean, that's kind of a requirement, but you're all fun to talk to. You're all in good spirits. But the cool thing is, and this is, again, this is the ignorance from an outside person. Like, a lot of people outside, a lot of incels and creeps and whatever are like, these girls are probably dumb and blah. Some of the smartest fucking people I've met have been the girls in this industry. The girl that you've seen gangbang by 12 guys is also kind of a marketing genius. And I like talking to the top people, the best people and whatever. And I don't give a shit about NASCAR. If you told me I could interview the best NASCAR people in the world, I'd go, well, I guess I have to learn it, you know? So what was something unexpected when you finally started shooting mainstream stuff? What was the divide between what you had watched and seen in the past and then actually being on set and working? Or was it not so much of a surprise because of your film background?
I think actually there's a little bit of two ways to it. I did really, really expect lights, camera, script, 100 people on the set, like maybe not 100, but I really expected movie set scenes. And I think not that it falls short. There's so many, and there's so many great, amazing ones, but I didn't realize how many weren't all lights, camera, action. Like, I didn't realize the companies that expand now with like everything that they can do, even VR and stuff, was really surprising. So I've actually never seen that in my film background, and it can go from one camera to like this crazy VR camera. So
let me ask you about that. Have you shot any VR scenes yet?
Yes, I think there's 2 or 3 out right now. Okay. In July or June. So I think there's still maybe 3 or 4 to come out. A good 3, I think. How
does the process differ from shooting regular stuff? I mean, I assume it saps any kind of intimacy you might have had during a scene.
You know what? People say that. I don't think personally it does that much for me. Obviously, like, being able to like kiss and stuff is something that, every performer would like to do instead of just talking to the camera. But like I said, because I've been in front of the camera, I still try to find a way to connect with the person behind the camera as well, even if it's just to the camera as well, and they know they're there. I don't know. It doesn't differ that much for me. I do love it now.
And see, that's the thing. I also interview performers who come on and they shoot these scenes where they're acting and they're like, I've never fucking acted in my life. So a lot of them are just kind of blown away by the process, but it's so fun. We get to see it. We saw it behind the camera first and kind of understand the process. Like when someone's like, well, we'll just set up the camera and shoot. I go, you're not going to spend hours lighting this thing. Yeah. You're not going to white balance. Yeah. You're not going to do any of that shit. No. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Shoot. I don't want to do it. There's a company that you've actually even worked for, I believe early on, just pictures. I won't call them out by name.
Okay.
They light things so badly. Everyone looks entirely red in them. And I'm like, please, just figure it out. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes. It's come up before. Like, it's come up a few times. I don't know. I'm just surprised.
I mean, not you, obviously. Other people look like mascots sometimes. I'm like, what fucking team are you cheering for on this one? Are you face painting it? Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like you have one job to do. Just light this properly. Hey, they're giving opportunities to girls. I respect that.
Yes.
There you go.
I know. I wish I could say more. There's like, I have like a Gossip Girl little in my ear, but
is that known? Is that like kind of said in the industry?
I would say it's been said a few times. I feel like because I'm such a newbie, still like I'm still new to everything. It was my first ever professional photo shoot and stuff. So, and scene, not photo shoot in terms of like modeling, but in porn.
Sure.
So I didn't know any better, and I think that that's not known as a newbie, but maybe it is when you've been in it a while.
I just look at it and I'm like, yeah, we need to throw some filters on this thing over here, folks, because you have some of the prettiest people in the world, and it just doesn't look great. Thank you. As opposed to some other ones, have you ever seen like the way Amateur Allure lights things? It's beautiful, right?
Oh my gosh. I actually have like, I want to say like there's something coming out that you should see soon, but I love their stuff. Like their eyes look glowing. Yes.
It's beautiful. Yeah. The other you've worked for a giant company too that made you look like you actually look beautiful and perfect. What was it like working for Elegant Angel?
Oh, thank you. I love Elegant Angel. So everybody on set was amazing. I worked with Brad Newman. And I love to say that he, I think, is like the thickest penis that I have been with and like put in my mouth, and it was just hilarious, the pictures that I saw where it just looks like my mouth is stretched so far around his penis, and I loved it. Like they captured everything perfectly, and the scene was perfect. They were like, let's get this done, we know what we want, and it's gonna look amazing, and like everything was perfect.
That's one of those sites to me where it's like that's where quality really lives.
Absolutely.
And normally I like some of the more middle tier quality. Like you have your real, like for my own personal use. I like, you have the big beautiful ones up top. I just did an interview with someone the other day who works for Vixen, and Vixen produces like, I mean, you could take that cinematographer and put him on a Christopher Nolan movie. Like, it's just beautiful.
Absolutely.
Then you have, like, the bottom tier stuff, which is, like, you hear Metallica playing in the background, and you're like, I don't think the rights to fucking Enter Sandman are supposed to be in this video of this girl getting fucked, but maybe. And then, like, the middle tier, it's no insult to them, where it's a little more gritty, a little more raw. But, do you have a specific type that you really like? Like, maybe creatively you wouldn't want to do this forever, but anytime someone would offer this scene or say this or there was some condition to it, you would be like, yeah, I want that. I definitely want that.
What I really want and strive for is, honestly, script work, feature film, like, old Hollywood meets porn, and, like, movie amazing stories. So some producers that like I love to watch myself, and like their movies are amazing, like Ricky Greenwood, his stuff amazing. Bree Mills, like these people have made amazing movies in porn. I think that's my favorite thing to watch, is when porn is like a movie. It's so captivating to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, well, that's what the medium is. I mean, we use it as a utility, most men, and probably 1% of Pornhub viewers are women, maybe? I don't know what that is. I don't know what the stats are, but I am sure they are overwhelmingly one way on that one. But at the core of it, there is like this... It's a movie. I don't know. I sounded like Harry Styles there when he was on that press tour a few years ago. It's a real movie. It's like a movie. Yeah, it's a movie. Okay.
I know what you mean, though. It's so hard to explain it. Like, it's like cinematic.
Right. Yeah, you want to see something. You want to get to the fucking part and be like, oh my God, this is a porn. I forgot. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So
because it's amazing.
Right. Do you work? Okay. So this is a great question, and I think it's maybe an obvious answer as opposed to some of the people I ask, but do you want to eventually work your way behind the camera and start really like would you work for a studio, or would you just build up your own personal brand to that?
Absolutely. I think someone that I really look up to in that kind of ways would be Casey Calvert. Okay. She definitely is an amazing performer, and then is now doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Even like thoughts of creating my own studio have come in my head, or doing script work, my own videos, and I wish I could do that myself for like my OnlyFans and like have these big productions. But of course, like these are all dreams that like I would love to someday absolutely pursue.
One time I gave unsolicited advice to a porn star, and she told me, real nasty, just like, no one wants your advice. But I was like, yo, lady, you just complained to me for 20 minutes. And I said, well, maybe I have something for you. Let me ask, can you, since maybe you don't have the studio system behind you yet, would you ever be open to if let me break this down too.
Yeah,
what
okay.
I love about Twitter and what I'm seeing now, especially, is there's a great divide, but not in a negative way, between mainstream girls and independent girls. And in the past, it was like mainstream girls up here, numbers wise, like a whole bunch of followers, this and that.
Yeah.
And then, and it's really balanced out in the last few years. Mm-hmm. Would you, if this opportunity was presented to you, or would you ever ask it, if a indie girl was like, hey, we do produce all of our own stuff, blah, 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 would you collaborate on this, and would you direct this scene? Would that be a good place to like start, like getting your directing feet wet with other people and then moving your way up?
You know what? Yes. If anyone is watching that is an indie person that would love to collaborate, please come my way. Absolutely. Because I feel like projects and passion projects and stuff really keep like our industry's creativity and stuff alive. So like for me, absolutely, because giving me an opportunity that I wouldn't have come to myself is like gold. Sure. I don't know.
Sure. And you're there working with some other lady or whatever who produces these things. If you have a freak out and you're like, I don't remember how to white balance anymore, it's not like you're on some big set where it's expensive and this and that. It's, it's a collaborator. She would probably step in. So I don't think you'd do that, though. I think you'd be fine. Your white balance is fine. You're not red all over like other pictures I've seen of you.
Yes, right.
What is, okay. Now I have to dance the line here because what we've talked about before. You said you got into the industry and Brad Newman was the biggest dick you had ever worked with on that scene you had shot, right?
Yes, the thickest. Okay. Yeah.
Thickest. Okay. So again, we discussed this off air and everything. Were you very like sexually active before that? I sound like a doctor asking that, but what I'm trying to say is, did you step into this industry or did you step into a whole lifestyle along with it?
Let's see. I'm definitely a really sexual person, and I've had sex with a lot of people in terms of like, this isn't like my like fifth penis or anything. Like, sure. This is like I've been having sex, and I've also explored many different dicks, girls, orgies, all kinds of things. So it wasn't in terms of a lifestyle that way, but it definitely is a different lifestyle in totally so many different ways I had no idea of.
Sure.
But I don't know, I feel a little bit of both.
Sure. Well,
being away from all of it, not like in LA, in Vegas, in Florida, in those hubs all the time, I feel it kind of, I go and then I come back, but it's more of an online presence right now.
You go and you come back. Do you feel drawn to keep going, or are you happier to come home once it's done?
No, I love traveling. So okay. Like even without sex work, like I'm doing what I've always loved to do, and I get to also do what I also would love to do. So like traveling, sex work, both of them together. For me, it's actually the biggest dream that I could have ever made. Like,
sure. How about off-camera sex? Has that I speak to so many girls. I know I start this, but I kind of like the idea of this show being collective thought, meaning some girls think this, some girls think this. Let's see where the consensus is. How has your sex life outside of porn? Ooh. Has it taken a hit? Has it jumped up? Like, are you more willing to go on a one-night stand? Are you much less willing? Like, how has that changed in your life?
I think it's changed for the better in terms of I don't really see people often anymore outside of porn. I would say it's mostly for like the safety, and actually, you know, it's like almost 100% for the safety. There's like part of me that doesn't really get that aroused either by like just random flings anymore. I do, you know, I have a lot of sex, so I'm pretty satisfied with like where my sex life is at. And I'm trying to think of What? Sorry, what
No,
was
I
the
get
other one of the
no.
questions?
Just. I know. I'm sorry. I throw 12 at you and go answer all of them.
That's okay.
No,
There was a
no.
point
Just
I had.
just about how how it's changed your sex life inside or outside. The girls I speak to always say like, "Yo, I barely fuck off camera anymore. I'm satisfied enough, whatever."
Yeah.
And you would think, oh, Maisey's going to be a porn star. She's going to be constantly filled with dick. I mean, just everywhere, in every hole, all the time. Not true then?
Yeah, you're correct. It's not true unless I'm like in LA getting fucked for 4 weeks and then that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. So, Maisey, if I were to go to your OnlyFans at Maisey Monroe, just so everyone knows, links in the episode description as always, what kind of content do you produce for yourself? Is it kind of like a amateur, like daily day in the life? Are you doing like weekly, monthly videos? What is your kind of setup? Like if I go, I really have X amount of dollars to spend today, I'm going to go to OnlyFans. What would I find there from you?
So weekly, I go live. I try to weekly if I'm traveling. It's a little bit hard, but I've been doing that a lot recently. Everyone sees me live on Thursday nights on OnlyFans, my free OnlyFans, and we have the best time. Like we do dildos, squirting, everything you can do solo, basically, like toy blowjob, everything. That's the most fun and it's the most community-based thing I have right now. You'll also get videos, like I do lots of solos, but mostly customs and FaceTimes. I find people just really want that real connection from me, and it's quick for me too. I'd rather go on OnlyFans, spend a couple hours, really connect with my fans, and then come back, do my own stuff, create those videos for them, send them out, instead of just like constantly messaging. I know a lot of people have like management teams now to do that, and I honestly don't even message a lot. I do, but you can find me everywhere, like Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. So I'm super big on like community all over the board. You can message me like on my Snapchat all day because that's where I'll be all day. And I know you interact with me on my OnlyFans and you spend on me there, so I'm fine with that. Sex Panther for people that are chatting like a lot. So it's just like different avenues of where I kind of point them. But for videos, I mostly sell like content that I will produce in LA. So a couple big things I have right now that just came out was my Girl with Kira Bear.
Okay.
We collabed in XBiz Miami. And then I just did a Dirty Auditions Ass Worship with Mike Adriano.
Okay.
So those are kind of like bigger ones I kind of sell, and they're usually like 30 minutes, I would say. So I try to keep it as like a storyboard. There's a good content there. And hours long. I have lots of videos with Mr. Excess, the guy I did the first video with, and we do lots of threesomes. So you can kind of find a bit of everything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So my fans probably want me to ask something like this, like, do you really like anal? Have you done anal? Blah, blah, blah. What I'm gonna do is ask this. Can you tell me your 3 favorite movies of all time?
3 favorite movies?
Yeah. 3 favorite movies of all time.
Anal question?
No. We'll get back to that maybe.
Okay.
3 favorite movies of all time. And then I'm gonna tell you mine, because you didn't ask. Yes, real movies. You're cinema.
Okay. Mean Girls, Clueless, and the one with like Noah's Ark, I think. It's called like, you know what? It's called Evan Almighty. It's so fun.
The sequel, huh? Not even Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
Fair.
Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty.
I like number 3 is Big Lebowski for me. Number 2 is Fight Club. Number 1 is a movie called Brick with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's amazing.
Okay, I feel like I haven't seen any of those ones.
Really? Yeah. How old are you?
Have you seen mine, though?
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see. Clueless came out when I was 7. So, yes, I've seen Clueless. Mean Girls, phenomenal. It's great. And
love it.
Believe she's like 20 at the time when they filmed it, so it's okay to say. Has Lindsay Lohan ever looked better?
She looks amazing right now.
Does she really?
Yeah, right now. I think she... Wait, did you see her recently?
No. I'm obsessed with how hot Amanda Bynes is.
Oh, yeah, Amanda Bynes passed.
No,
amazing.
Oh, yeah, Amanda Bynes is a total mess right now. Disaster. That's a shame. Yeah, poor girl. That's Hollywood will break you. You know what won't? Porn Valley won't. It'll be fine. You'll be great. There's lots of success stories and such and whatever. You just have to keep your head up.
Yeah.
what is, I didn't ask this already, right? What is the type of content you have no interest in doing? Like, we're going to take out any, like, graphic or horrible, like, nothing violent, no illegal shit. What's something that's kind of standard in the industry that you will probably get asked that you want to do, and you were either like, maybe you'll try it once, but you are really not. That's not your type of thing. It's not a Maisey Monroe shoot.
Okay, I feel like I could, like, fire off a bunch. Obviously, the obvious violent and gross ones. I feel like something I've got asked a couple times would be, like, almost like a non-consensual, consensual situation. Or, like, a power play situation.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I should say this, but I got asked to do, like, one that was, like, a scene that was, like, it was totally a fake scene, but your agent... you're the model and you have to show your agent that you're gonna fuck them or whatever. And I was like, that's totally a power, like, we don't want that happening. That's not
right. Yeah. No, okay. So that is interesting, because I will say I have a new fetish that I've really enjoyed over the last year. Wouldn't it be creepy if I was like German Shepherds? The new fetish I've really enjoyed over the last year, and there is kind of a power dynamic, so it might be interesting to get your take on it.
Okay.
And it can be perceived multiple ways, maybe, in different power dynamics. How do you feel about free use?
That, I feel like, is fine if you're consenting to it, because I feel like there's no manipulation in that. It's like...
Sure.
I feel like the power trip part that doesn't get me right is, like, there's manipulation where it's like, because I want to prove to you I have to prove, you know what I mean?
No,
but, like,
I get
the
it,
free use thing is, like, I'm giving you free use. I feel like that's, like, liberating almost, like...
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like a little bit different about that one, so...
I agree. What I like about it is, again, there's different power dynamics. I'm just gonna, from my own brain, put us both in a free use scene. It's either Maisey is so dominant and so concerned about what she's doing at this desk right now that she's not concerned with the guy fucking her. Like, he's nothing. He's zero. That's a dom power trip for the female in that situation. Then there's the thing of Maisey's just it sounds terrible coming out of my own mouth because I doesn't feel this way. Maisey's an object. Go over there, throw my dick in, some pumps, walk away. It's done. There's a power trip that way, in a sense. Not quite, like you said, leveraging work or anything like that. But you know what? As you said it, and as I thought about it, I go, there would be a bit of a hot scene where if a manager was like, look, you're not getting this job. I can't give it to you. And then the offer of the woman, like, what if I blow you? You think maybe you could get me that audition? There's something I do find attractive about that, but it's not like, Maisey, you're not getting your fucking paycheck unless, That's a rough one. I get that.
Yeah, and like, to each their own. There's so many different ways you can perceive things. So you're right. If there's a scene that might come up that's written in a hot way, it's that one sentence or that one thing or that one thing that can make it manipulative and not, maybe morally right, but...
That's so crazy. The act can be the same thing, but we can perceive it different ways, or it can be written different ways.
Yes.
Interesting.
Or even, like, performed different ways. It kind of... who you're embodying to, what you're embodying, And, like, it's hard because porn stars aren't supposed to be actors and all, It's such a quick thing. Like, you don't study this scene for so long. So.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you didn't drop your eyes deep enough there to let him know that you really enjoyed that. It's like, no, she's probably not gonna, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Shit, I just slipped on where I was going with this. I do that a lot, though. The listeners know that. Do you have any mentors or any people other than wonderful sister with her beautiful family that you kind of look up to now? Not even necessarily look up. Is there anyone you get advice from, talk to, or they say that's probably not a good idea, that is a good idea, pursue that?
Okay, interesting question. I feel like yes, I feel like a lot of people try to give me advice and everything, but I do kind of stick to this one little team that I have that I've worked and built this whole way through the past year. I do have people like around me and by my side to kind of like direct me in the right way in terms of this is what the standard is, and don't get manipulated or whatever. But and like you said, a mentor. So I do. I would say I'm very lucky with what I have and where I've come to now with those people in my life. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. So let's move into the future. Sci-fi music and shit playing.
Okay.
No, before we move into the future, we're going to look into the past. We're going to do a thing on this show that I do called Stat Check. Now, look, these numbers are all wrong. They are wrong. We are using the Internet Adult Film Database, okay? And that is basically like the Internet Movie Database except for porn stars. Now, here's what they don't include. Collaborations you did over here on this site and this over here, but we do have some ManyVid stuff and we don't have all of them. So these numbers are going to be wrong. I only preface it this way because every girl I've ever prefaced it that way too. At the end, I go, these are the numbers. And they go, that's not right. And I go, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's way off. It's all fucked. So, number of scenes we have for Miss Maisey Monroe here is 11 scenes. Guys she's worked with, 6. Girls she's worked with, 0, as I'm looking at a video of you on your Twitter about to eat box on one of the prettiest ladies I've ever seen in the world. AVN nomination 0 and win 0. Is that correct? The last 2 at least?
The last 2 are correct. The other ones, you know,
way off. Way off, yes. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I like to do this as kind of a milestone point. Like, you've spoken to me now on this day. This is what IAFD said. Year from now, we have you back on. All those things in the background, you've had to throw away all your cute little stuff hanging up on the shelves because you have too many AVN awards there. And then I just go, okay, this is where we are now. So
it's funny you say that. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, please.
I don't know if you can see it. I have like the XMA award nomination, but no AVN yet. But that was a fan category, so that was like my first big milestone, which is why like I got a poster. I put it on my little table at XBiz when I was like telling them to vote for me.
That's so funny.
But
I was nominated.
It'll still be there.
You're gonna have to take it down with all the awards that are gonna be blocking it. That's the problem. Someday, eventually. We were nominated for an AVN 2 years ago, and my wife cried, and I was like. We're not going to be plug talk. Like, don't cry too much about it. There's a lot bigger shows than this. It's great to be recognized, right?
Absolutely. You're amazing.
Oh, you're amazing. Well, this is going to take an odd turn because let me ask you this real quick before we get into the future even. Do you ever get, and this is a weird kind of psychological question, do you ever get imposter syndrome?
Yes.
And do you know what for the audience, it's almost like you're in a position of some kind of prominence or you're doing something important or maybe it's something you wanted to do all your life and for some reason it just hits you and you're like, I'm not supposed to fucking be here. Do you ever get that?
Absolutely. I feel like in the beginning of my career, it happens a lot more. Mostly, I would say because I didn't feel like my name.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, I was always called my name, my usernames, you know, or whatever. And I feel like I was logging on to, like, this life that, like, wasn't really me. And I was like, no, I want to do this. And I was like, do I want to do this? And it was just kind of like that weird thing. I was like, yeah, I do want to do this, but it feels so imposter syndrome. Right. But, like, now it's like, I do, especially with the travel back and forth. It's like, I go there, I'm Maisey, I'm having fun, but like I come back and you know I still have this super normal life. I feel like nobody in this town would ever know that.
Yeah, that's so funny. Do you ever have you gotten any kind of like what do they call it, star shock, celebrity shock? Have you seen anyone and you were like, oh my god, that's her from the like Lisa Ann over there and blah blah blah, and then do you think you'd experience that imposter syndrome again on set with these people or no?
Okay, yes to both of those questions. Yes, I felt that way actually to like a lot of people the very first time I met them especially. But I feel like as it goes on, not as much, and I don't mean that in any sort of way other than like, you know, you're around these people a lot and I feel like they also get to know who I am. So it doesn't feel like, oh my god, they don't know who I am. And then I'm meeting them. But I feel like a lot of people have said when I met them, I don't really treat them like that when I meet them. So I'm glad that I don't give the fangirl impression, because I feel like I do.
Right. I bet they get that a lot too. I bet there's a lot of young girls who come up to them like, oh my God, you're blah, blah, blah. So if you play it cool, you never know. You might be in a scene with them, you know? Oh, hey,
definitely
nice to
playing
meet you.
it cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely like shitting my pants talking to you, but like, that's me. I'm like, someone's like pushing me, like, go talk to them. I'm like, okay.
Oh, it's funny. I took my wife to Exotica 2 years. I mean, we go every year now, but I took her 2 years ago, and she's my producer on the show, but she is not a guy like me who's like, let's dive into this, blah, 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 let me do all the research. I've been watching porn all my life. So at one point, Alex Cole, who's a wonderful performer and has told me 6 different times she'll come on the show, and then we can't ever get the schedule worked out. She had a thing where you pay $50 and she'll put her foot in your mouth as you lay on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
And I was tapping Jen. I was like, go look at him. Because we were waiting in line. I go look at that guy. She goes, no. I go, he's got a foot in his mouth. Go look at it. And it's just so funny watching people from the outside world, because she was terrified to do that. And I can't imagine if we had to do a red carpet or anything like that, where she would just, because she's more of an introvert. Now, let me ask you, your natural personality, are you more of an extrovert or an introvert?
Total extrovert. Like,
really?
I social butterfly. I think it goes back to that thing of like, my mom had always had a camera, like on, everything's recording, pictures taking. And it's just kind of like, I grew up that way, and I grew up with a lot of friends. I walk into people's houses, like, I know it's kind of wild to think of now, but like super extroverted. But it's weird because like when I get nervous, I'm at this party, I'm like doing super extrovert things that like my sister would never do. She's such an introvert. Yeah. She'd never go to a party. And then I'm there and I'm like, what do I do? So I'm shocked by how many, it's good to hear you're an extrovert, but I am shocked by how many performers, how many women who are just laid out on a bed, fully nude, ready to get fucked, blah, blah, blah. How many of them tell me like, I'm a total introvert? And it just seems so like incongruous to me. It's like, well, you're an introvert, except all of this over here. So I don't know. I guess it's a different mindset, maybe. You know what?
Yeah.
Yes. And like for me, I feel like I'm so extroverted when there's like group, orgy, people on set, like we're in a group setting, red carpet has so many people. But if I'm alone, I feel like that's when I get really introverted, or I have to speak to someone like one-on-one. Don't worry, like podcasting is like cool right now.
No, like, you're performing right now.
But I would be lying if I said it, like there was never a nervous thought or a nervous like thing when you're one-on-one with someone, even in one-on-one in a scene and there's like one other person shooting. It's super like intimate, right? So
you need the crowd then. You need need more vibe coming at you and really like boosting
and then I feel
spirits.
like I'm like performing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have any so that made me think about how, do you have any type of hidden kink that maybe we don't know about, or maybe we do know about if we sign up for your stuff? Like you said, you like having a lot of people around. Do you like any kind of like exhibitionism, voyeurism, public stuff? Does that do anything for you, or does it have to be like a professional set around you?
I actually haven't ventured in much to like voyeurism, exhibitionist. Like I haven't really researched much of it, but I do want to. It's something that's like a curious kink, I would say. I don't know if it's like something I totally love yet, but it's definitely like that little fantasy that I would dip into. I would say a lot of things actually right now are fantasies that I would dip into. Like I've recently been loving doing feet stuff, and not because I like feet, but I like when people like my feet.
Okay.
So it's just kind of weird thing of like, I like when people like something. So like if someone's ass worshipping me or like tit worshipping me, so maybe I like to be worshipped. I don't know. I think maybe it comes down to that maybe, but trying to think of anything else that's like really cool. I really want to try cosplay. It's a bunch of stuff that I am really interested in, but haven't delved into yet, which is why I feel like when people ask for customs of different kinks and stuff, like I'm super excited to try all these things because I'm learning about myself too. And like,
sure.
Right now, let me think. I kind of like the schoolgirl, getting caught type vibes. I like those a lot.
Okay.
That's kind of like fantasy or kink for me, or like massage, intimate things, or big orgies, I would say, maybe.
You know, not to call out any one specific site, I won't name the exact site in case you get work with them in the future. I don't think you've worked them in the past, but I've had another thought on that power dynamic that maybe you don't, because as you said, schoolgirl thing, I was like, okay, that's one thing, you know, you could be seductive schoolgirl. You know what? You may not like, and maybe you'll work for them, so again, we'll shh.
Okay.
What about like the shoplifting stuff? That seems like... Have you ever seen... Do you know what I'm talking about? Where
yes, I know.
Maisey got caught shoplifting. Well, you got to fuck this security... That seems like... That's like kind of the way you don't want to go, right?
Correct. I would say correct. Like, maybe I would.
Sure.
See, I would never... I'm not... It's hard because I know what you're talking about. And they're like... So it's like the brand is like not completely on because it's a little more, it's weirdly scripted as Gonzo. It's like it's but it's scripted as Gonzo kind of. Maybe it's not scripted because I haven't worked with them, but it looks like it would be a, you know.
I get it. No, I get what you're saying. It's that
mid-tier thing that you're talking about.
Totally.
That I'm just like, I would definitely like probably work with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that would just be like a discussion with like people around me and like people who have worked with them, mentors, and a branding conversation really like in the future. But as of right now, like I do agree with you. It's kind of like I like the getting caught part, but I feel like the set is not setting for me.
It's and again, not that site or any of the various other ones or anything like that. If you're not into that though, it feels very like I wish there was a little more like the girl was really like pushing it. Like, look, I could do this for you. Let's take care of this. More of like, hey, let's make an even deal on the woman's terms here.
Yes, I do like that. I do like a little more of the women empowering part, and I feel like it would be right with the right, I don't know, with the right performers and the right, you know, maybe it would like fucking kill. Like I've seen a bunch of amazing scenes like that are like, obviously it's a great scene and they want to be there and they're having fun. So
yeah, totally.
I feel like that's like.
And it's become a standard now and whatever. And I don't think we really have to worry about like, you know, teenage boys seeing it and really wanting to be mall security guards. Like, you know, it's you know, I think that's kind of a thing you fall into. What milestones are you looking forward to coming up? What is your next big thing where you're like, I'm going to tackle this? Maybe you've already shot it. It's not released yet. Maybe you're looking to shoot it. You don't have to give me any details that you're not allowed to, but tell me what you want to do.
Yeah, there is one milestone, a company that I've wanted to work for since, forever, that I did work for, and it will be coming out soon. So that's like, for me personally, like in the back of my head, a really big milestone that I'm looking forward for it to come out.
Sure.
But something I'm actually looking to film soon would be either a gangbang or like a blow bang with like multiple guys and even multiple girls too. Like, I think you know now, like I love the multi-people thing. I think that's like one thing I thrive in. But I'm trying to think of something else. There's something I would definitely want to try. You mentioned it earlier.
Okay.
In the next like maybe year and a little bit is anal.
Okay.
I obviously haven't tapped into it yet, but I think that would be like the next like biggest thing for me, other than like, you know, the blow bang gangbang.
Sure. So anal, are we playing? Oh, go ahead. You got something else?
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just thought of something.
Go ahead.
I remember you said something with a milestone that I'm looking forward to. And a big milestone I'm actually really looking forward to would be a feature film. So actually, like, before the anal, sorry, I was going way too future for you. Before the anal, I would love to have, like, you know, a feature film, movie, production, set, storyline, everything. That, I think, would be, like, more satisfying to me than like doing anal. So.
Sure. Well, yeah, I guess it would depend on how satisfying the anal was. Well, let me ask, the feature, obviously we want to get you in that. I am positive the audience wants me to go further on the anal. Is it just a fear? Is it pain? Is it a career move, like you're building up to that? Why have we not delved into that lately? As a guy who's never taken a dick in my ass, I will say that, yeah.
All three, to be honest with you, all three that you said. A little bit of fear in there, like, obviously I'm not an anal girl right now, so not only do I not do anal on mainstream, but I don't do anal like in my personal life or my lives. I have before, I don't. So there is obviously that fear of like, you know, anal girls know how to prepare, anal girls know how to do anal. I don't. Sure. And it's just something that like I haven't done yet. So there's that. It does hurt a little bit now, but if I get the right kind of training method, like I have trained a couple times, more than a couple times, but I have, you know, delved into it, and it does hurt, but it does also feel good at times. So that's something I'm really excited about. And that's why, like, I know it looks so good. I love anal. I love watching anal, and I love my butt. So I'm super excited. I would love to do it soon, but it's also a career move. So I know that it's not something that I'm looking for this year, unless like some miracle. I don't know. If it comes for the right scene, I'm going to do it. Like, if it comes to the right company offering me the right scene with the right male performer, perfect situation, I'm going to do it.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Let me ask a couple of... These are going to seem out of place. They're a little oddball questions, but actually you might be the most qualified person to answer some of these.
Awesome.
How do you feel about VR? No, not VR. AI. Apologies. How do you feel about VR? We talked about it for 10 minutes. Yeah, sure. It's great. How do you feel about AI? And do you have any concern about that? Because you're a newer girl coming into the industry. Like, you have your feet wet. I don't mean like yesterday you started, but...
It feels that way sometimes.
My concern is that a lot of the top girls... And I don't know what discussions are going on behind the scenes. I'm just looking at this strictly from the outside. If I'm a top girl, if I'm a Violet Myers, if I'm a whoever, can I sell my rights to this? Because 5 years from now, you're not gonna know what's real and what's actually being created and what's AI. You're just not. So is there any concern? You could ask this to every office worker too. Is there concern about AI taking your job away from you at all?
Personally, I'm not too concerned. Like, I think a lot of people are in talks of whether it's like a fad or whether it's like gonna completely in a year from now be this amazing thing. And like, honestly, I'm just kind of here to live for the moment. So like, if it does take my job in a year, then that's what happens in a year. But I'm not concerned. I don't think it will. There's like points of it that I'm worried about, but I feel like that's from what the humans set up. So I just wouldn't pick that site for AI. There's so many different AI sites and things and contracts you have to read that involve AI. So it's just about like doing your own research and noticing what do you not want to sign your rights over to. So like, there are things that do concern me, I would say, like a little bit, in terms of like, I don't want to be doing things that I don't want to be doing, like as Maisey in AI, you know what I mean? Like if a fan has like the ability to like make me do something, like I like that there are these companies that are putting those like stop words or like stop functions on them, and there is a bit of like oversee right now, but maybe there won't always be, so that does concern me a little. But in terms of my job, I don't think it'll like completely take it away. Totally.
I get it. And then one more question again, because I'm actually seeing the debate going on right now between a few people. I ask this question to every performer, and the number kind of shocks me sometimes, what they think or what they say, and there's always a reasoning behind it. You are someone who got into this industry at 18 years old. Now, I personally make no judgment. If you're old enough to go die in a war overseas, you're old enough to shoot porn to me personally. But I've spoken to so many women who also got in at 18 and said, it should be 21, or it should be this, or it should be that. What do you think? Having been in the industry for a while now, having seen how it works and whatever, you obviously came in very mature and very knowing what you were doing, even as you were, green to all of this stuff. What do you think the age should be for getting into porn?
Well, thank you, first of all, for saying I was so mature and everything, and that you think that, because it goes with the answer. I don't think that I really was that mature and knew what I was doing at 18. So I feel like coming in at 18 was great in terms of OnlyFans, in a little dabbling, because I wasn't totally in the public eye or like totally putting all my stuff on the internet that much. But if it was that accessible to me, and if I did do it at the time, I think it would have been my choice, like in terms of
it's tough,
whatever
right?
Actions happened, like it's a really hard debate. I think 18 is what you said, like if you're old enough to go
to the electric chair or whatever.
Absolutely. Obviously, if you want to do porn, you choose to, but there is a term like in the back of my head saying like maybe you should be mature before you start. That one term of like you should be 21. So like I don't know.
I know it's the toughest one, because
how do you rate it?
I've interviewed 40-year-olds on my Brand New Faces podcast, which is just introducing new girls to the industry who have no idea what they're doing and are not wise. No offense to them, they're wonderful people, but they have no idea what they're doing. They're not hip to what all this shit is and how it works and the social media aspect and this and that. Then I've met 18-year-olds who are like fucking killing it.
Absolutely.
But I like your thing too. Maybe we say this. Maybe we say 18 for independent stuff or like solo stuff, and then 21 for mainstream or whatever.
Like, I get it, and like I feel like, you know what, you just popped two thoughts in my brain at once.
Go.
So the first one, yes, I think like if you started at 18, you do your independence, and then you prove that. Okay, this is one of the proof things that I said I didn't like, but like you show that like, listen, like I can fuck, I want to do this. I got my PR stuff down, like I got my marketing down, like I'm putting myself out there, I'm trying, I'm growing. This is what I want to do, because there's those people that you can see like this is what they want to do. They're not just here for the quick money, like they want to do this, they're passionate about it, or they're really good at it.
Yeah.
I think like there's those special people that like get pulled and like could maybe fast track and like get there before they're 21, but like there is those like those cases, those like tiny little things that make you think like maybe I don't want to, and like that would be a decision for like 2 years from now. I don't know. And then the other thought, I'm so sorry.
No, please go. They're here for you. You talk.
I would love to make it easier for people coming into the industry that are 18, young, even if you're 21, that's still young, like, whatever, 25, people who are coming into the industry. I would love to make this, like, I won't even say school or anything, but like this community maybe that like would help people, come in, be mentored, get the education they need, and like tell them like, this is what you should.
I get you. You're 100% right. I see in my dumb fucking whatever brain. I always thought we need to put a PDF together for these girls, and I'll hand it out. Even something as basic as first thing, create a link tree. First thing, get your name across all social media. Lock all that stuff in, because there's nothing worse than going like, you can find her on Instagram at blah blah blah, and then Twitter, this one with 6 numbers at the end. And then I get accounts get canceled and suspended, this and that. That sucks. But like the basics coming into it, it's almost like we need a job aid to give to these girls to be like, this is the basic, and then you could take your clothes off. Okay? Yeah.
See, if I had time, and I probably do someday, so maybe this is an idea for later on, but I would 100% like make the YouTube videos, make the videos.
Sure.
I don't know. Like,
Let's do it. Let's figure it out.
Give all my knowledge, and I don't even have that much knowledge, so it's like
I'm
just so passionate about it.
I'm going to spend the next year putting together a PDF, and then I'll pitch it to you as a script.
Perfect.
And a year from now, we'll put this together, and people will be like, "We are the worst people in the world. We got all these 18-year-olds into the industry.
Oh my gosh!
And none of them are as mature as Miss Maisey Monroe at." Maisey Monroe, Maisey Monroe, across all social, not across all social media, right?
It's across
Twitter.
most of them except for stupid Instagram that banned me.
Mark Zuckerberg.
So it's Maisey X Monroe.
Okay. And you know exactly where to find her. Links to everything in the episode description. Maisey, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. You were a lot of fun to talk to. Thank you.
Thank you. You as well. It's been amazing.